So I'm going to give a brief introduction to the whole process of creating a video, starting with the selection of the camera, sound considerations, a little bit about editing, and then uploading. Now, these days, if you stick with the major brands, Canon, Sony, well, since I'm the sound guy, I'll just turn it on. So if you stick with the major brands, Sony, Canon, Panasonic, and there's a couple others, it's really hard to buy a camera that doesn't make good pictures, which means you can go out and find the cheapest camera around. And I bought a camera a couple of weeks ago off of the Canon website. They have refurbished for $129. It's a great little camera. Now the one I got in the back of the room is a better camera, but you know it'll resolve all that text, and that's all you need for a lot of this stuff. But the really hard part is getting sound. That is a major pain. The cameras in the microphones just pick up all kinds of room echo and extraneous noise and stuff. And so I will not buy a camera that does not have an external microphone jack. And here's some examples of some of the cameras. I think that one up at the top is the one that I found on the refurbished for like $129. That one in the bottom corner for $1,500 is better than the best that any of us will need unless you're going to go for commercial TV. I know a guy that uses one of those for making commercials for cable TV. And then if you got lots of money to burn and want to look neat, there is an $8,000 camera. Actually, well, the camera is far above that for the broadcast people. So this is what a microphone jack looks like. It used to always be red. They're red on your computer, by the way. But some of them are black, so they're just marked microphone, and that's what you plug your mic into. Oh, and another thing, these cameras come with batteries that last about an hour. And of course, like this session's a 2-hour session, so that doesn't cut it. And most of the meetings you go to are going to be more than an hour. So you can spend $100 for a Canon 2 to 3 hour battery, or you can go on to Amazon and probably eBay and get one of these Chinese batteries for $30. Actually, I think that may be 2 of them for $30. Oh, that second entry down is 2 batteries and a charger for $44. And they work great. And you're going to need a memory card. 32 gig memory cards are now under $20, and that's about 5 hours of recording. Okay, so we're back to the mics. Okay, so here are the options for sound. The very best you're going to do is, at an event, is get a feed from the sound system. Now that's why I'm supplying the sound system for this place, because I've got a little transmitter down here that is sending the sound directly to my camera. The other really good thing is to put a microphone on the presenter. And TV stations use these all the time. Most of the network newscasts, you'll see a little microphone clipped to somebody. And they work really great. You got a transmitter. A lot of times when somebody will turn around on a TV set, you'll see a transmitter on the back belt or back pocket. And this is the kind of stuff they're using. Now this is a cheap one. This is $150. And I'm sure they're spending $600, $800 for theirs, which work better. Now, when you put a microphone on a presenter at one of these conferences, you're not going to pick up audience questions very well. You can turn up the gain and get them. And if you got a lot of people talking like here, you're going to have to put a mic on each person. So there's practical limitations to that. And there's also a practical limitation, by the way, from a feed from the sound system. The sound is great, but every once in a while you run into somebody, I've had this happen a couple times, the politicians who say, oh, I don't need a microphone, I can talk to the audience. Well, that ain't working so good that far away. Okay. And then the next thing you can do is take one of these things that's intended to put on the flip, and you just kind of lay it on the table. And it'll pick up, if I put it in the middle of the table, it will satisfactorily pick up all 4 of these people. Not as good as if the mic is really close, because you want the mic as close as possible to the person talking. But you can't always do that. Now, the other thing to do, now of course we're going from best to worst, is one of these things. These come in various lengths at various prices. This is a short one. You can carry it around with you fairly easily. I get a little pad of Velcro here, and I stick it to the top of the camera with Velcro on the camera. If you look at my camera in the back, you'll see one that's almost twice this long, and that makes it more directional. This thing will pick up, oh, probably, you know, almost 180 degrees, 120 or something. And it's not a sharp cutoff. And that one in the back is more like 90 degrees. And more money, I'm assuming you can get narrower stuff. Another thing, a lot of these places will have a speaker set up like there. You can put this on a tripod, point it at the speaker, and then, where is it? Most of these things, but not all of them, you can unplug the microphone and plug your own microphone into it, and then you can walk around free of your camera and record sounds. You can do interviews this way, or you can point it to the speaker. Now, if you can get close to the speaker, then you just set this on top of the speaker and let this dangle down in front of it, and you get sound almost as good as directly off the system. And then if nothing else works, you use the camera's built-in microphone. Now, when you're out at an event, you will find feeds from the system sometimes. I found this at a city event. They hired some high-class outfit to provide the speakers, and they just provided a press box. And there's one transmitter on there from the TV station, and then mine's hanging off to the side there. Also, a lot of government buildings will have an outlet in the back of the room intended for recording. And so you just need an adapter to get into your camera. Or what I would do is take the adapter and get into my handy little transmitter. I don't think I use wired at all anymore. I can't think of the last time I've actually wired a microphone to the camera instead of using these wireless. So here's a couple of selections of wireless. That one on the left is the one I've got right here. Like I said, about $150. There's another model there. There's a whole pile of these things at various price ranges. Okay, so here's talking about microphone near the presenter. You can also buy table mics. That little mic here is a microphone I've seen used at the cable TV show. In a two-person interview, they just put the mic in the middle of a table about yay big around, and it produces adequate quality for broadcast. Here's a little bit about a shotgun microphone. They're directional, but they're not perfect. And they pick up a whole lot better in one direction, but they still pick up a little from the back and from the sides. This came, oh, by the way, this came from B&H Photo Video, which is a good source of equipment. They're one of the major big-time mail-order equipment dealers. And this is the catalog page for this thing. And then once again, repeating, built-in microphone is a last resort. Okay, so editing. Most of this YouTube stuff, you do minimal editing. In fact, most people, I think, do none. But I like to add a title at the start, and then a fade in, and a fade out the title, fade in the thing. I usually start recording ahead of time, and then dump the stuff up to when they start introducing the speaker or whatever. And you do the same at the end. And oftentimes you'll have stuff in the middle you just got to get rid of. Like today when they're setting up the PowerPoint, that was about 10 minutes of useless video that I've got to chop out. Okay, then I think we all know about word processors. And when you punch save, it overwrites your original. So you need to choose a new file name and all that stuff, you have accidents too, and it's pretty bad. Well, these video editors are different. They never overwrite the original recording. As you manipulate the video, all it's doing is making a list of the actions you're doing. And then they have a separate process later that they call rendering that actually makes a new copy of your video, applying the changes in the process. And also that's where you get to choose what your output format is going to be. If it's going, like the program I'm using there, you can choose to make it DVD, in which case it translates the video to a DVD format and actually burns the DVD. You can choose to output in a format suitable for YouTube, Vimeo, and those kinds of places. And these are all different video formats, so you can't really make one and then send it various places. Well, actually, in some cases you can. It's just there's a lot of variables out there in that one. YouTube likes to tell you you need much higher quality, and you get very large files. When you're doing a 1 hour event or something, you can get huge files, and it'll take you hours to upload them. So I normally choose a fairly small file size. Okay, so this is what a video editor looks like. Oh, I didn't bring up my pointer. Yeah. Yeah, oh, well, this is pretty crummy.
Do you have a cursor?
Over there is the collection of videos you're going to edit. And what comes... Oh, good point. Thank you. Assuming I can deal with one of these kinds of cursors. No, it just disappeared on me. There, it came back. Okay, so the signal coming out of what you get on the recorded on the camera card is files that are about 20 minutes long. So you have to combine these, and the program does it for you. But you will load a pile of, oh, I see, the cursor disappears when I take my finger off of it. Okay, so this area, you'll see all the individual files that are going to make up your video. And of course, they don't have to be all from the same source. I mean, you may have some you shot yesterday and today, and tomorrow you put more on it. And then whatever you want to work with, you put down here what they call the timeline. And you can see the audio on the better programs. And one of my criteria is if you can't see the audio, I'm not interested in using the program. Because when you're doing cuts, very frequently you want to cut in between words. And you can spend an hour listening to the thing, or you can see the gap in between words, place your cursor there, and do whatever you do to make it, automatic advance, to make it a cut. And then this... So anyway, and then the big picture there is the picture that's underneath the cursor on the timeline. So that's a basic idea. This is the $50 version of Sony Vegas, and this is a free version from Seraph. And I'm actually using Seraph to make the DVDs because it was faster than Vegas, but I don't do editing on Seraph. Okay, so I went through opening a YouTube account and did some screenshots. I logged onto YouTube with a computer that has never been on YouTube before, and it's offering an upload there at the arrow. So I clicked on the arrow, and it wants me to create a Google account. And you might use your own email account or create a new one for uploading. And then after you go through that, and they also want a telephone number, and they send you a code over the telephone to enter in to make sure they know who you are and you're not signing up 1,000 accounts automatically, stuff like that. And then you just click on Select Files to Upload, and it gives you your standard disk directory, and you choose the files and poke Enter or whatever, and it starts uploading. Yeah, here's that snapshot of the thing. They send you an unlock address verbally on your phone. Okay, so when you get this thing produced, everybody knows about YouTube. I've been using Vimeo because when I started, YouTube had a time limitation of, I think it was 10 minutes or something, and I was putting up 1 hour programs. And then the other thing is cable TV. Now, I've been putting on 1 hour versions of these American Dream Coalition meetings on our local cable company. And I've got a set of about 60 1 hour programs, which I'll be happy to share with people if they want to put them on their local cable company. And this is public access TV. A lot of cable companies have it, and anybody can walk in and learn how to do programming. Frequently, they'll have a studio, and you can produce programs in the studio, bring people in for interviews, or you can tape stuff and put it on the air, and that's the category this is in. A lot of people will cover the local socialist protest meetings, and it's really a vast left-wing socialist, I won't say wasteland, but I should. Okay, so here's a list of links that'll kind of get you started. Full Compass is a discount vendor of this kind of equipment, and they had the best price on that microphone back on the camera about 5 years ago when I was looking for a microphone. Video Guys has a bunch of that stuff, B&H Photo, Here's the website for the Canon camcorders and the free editing software. I found a lot of information on the Audio-Technica.com site on the B&H photo. So I guess I'm ready for questions.